to go. The two murderers who murdered Win Rosario were Alongi and Gianfranco. And today, we are going to demand that they be fired and prosecuted for the murder that they committed.
It's been over a year since Win Rosario, a Bangladeshi teenager, was killed by the NYPD in what should have been the safety of his home, in front of his mother and younger brother. Do we think that's right?
No.
Shame, that's right. Officers Salvatore Alongi and Matthew Cianfranco created a chaotic and reckless situation where they tased, shot, and killed Win in less than 2 minutes. 2 minutes! In less than 2 minutes, they created the situation. It's a miracle that Win's mother and brother weren't also killed or harmed physically in this chaotic crisis that Alongi and Cianfranco created. We need to uplift the family's demand that these two officers, Salvatore Alongi and Matthew Cianfranco, need to be fired and prosecuted to the full extent. It's wrong, right, that Win's family has had to go through over a year with no action from the mayor, from the NYPD, from the Attorney General's office to fire and indict officers Alongi and Cianfranco, or they haven't even addressed the mistreatment of Win's family directly after the murder. Do we think that's right?
No.
It's been over a year. There's been no accountability. There's been no justice for this family. There has been no firing, no prosecution. We haven't even heard anything about what the update is of the investigation. The family hasn't even heard any updates about the investigation, and has been over a year since this has happened and completely changed their lives. Do we think that's right?
No.
And we're here to support and fight for this family to make sure that the officers, both officers Salvatore Alongi and Matthew Cianfranco, are fired, are indicted and prosecuted, and make sure that no other family ever has to go through something like this again. I'm going to pass it to my co-MC, Sammy.
Thank you, Simran. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here this evening. My name is Sammy Feliz, and I am the brother of Alan Feliz, and also a staff member of the Justice Committee, a grassroots organization that organizes for true community safety and to end police violence in New York City. In 2019, my brother, Alan, was also murdered by the NYPD when officers escalated an unjust car stop and shot him at close range. I'm honored to be here today and stand with the family of Win Rosario 1 year after the NYPD officers Matthew Cianfranco and Salvatore Alongi came into Win's home, the place he lived and should have been safe, and murdered him in front of his younger brother and in front of his mother. As a New Yorker who has been fighting for 5.5 years to ensure that Lieutenant Jonathan Rivera is fired for killing my brother, unfortunately, I know too well what the pain that this family is going through and suffering that Win Rosario's family is feeling today. This is hell that no one wants to feel and should have to experience, but too many families do. We'd like to thank you all for coming out today. And if you haven't got a chance to pick up a chant sheet, we are handing those out. And ensure that you take a Take Action flyer, a candle, some signs, take pictures of those, and upload them on social media. Tag the police commissioner, tag the mayor. They need to know that they have support here, that a community will not go silent in the hands of an injustice that happened to this family. So make sure that you read the Take Action flyer. If you're on social media, we encourage you to take photo of it, post it on your account, and call others to join on that call. Tag the mayor, like I said, and the police commissioner, and tell them to fire the officers who killed Win and the Attorney General to prosecute them. Now we're going to continue the the event with introducing our first speaker, which is going to be Ucho Rosario, and that is Gwen Rosario's brother. Ucho was only 17 when NYPD officers Salvatore Alanghi and Matthew Cianfrocco arrived at his home. Alanghi immediately used the derogatory language before ever meeting Gwen. Cianfrocco pointed his gun at Ucho while both officers threatened to shoot his mother. Ucho was forced to watch as both cops created a crisis and murdered his brother in his own home. Once again, Ucho.
My name is Ucho. I'm the brother of Wen. A little over a year ago, Wen was murdered by the NYPD. I wish y'all could have known how beautiful Wen's soul was. Wen's been there for me since birth, and for the first time I have to be without him. Wen had a very pure heart. He loved animals and they loved him back, especially our cat. Though being my cat, she liked Wen more than me. Wen had a very strong sense of right and wrong. He was determined to achieve his dreams of joining the Marines and owning his own firm. But now I watch my cat pout his photo instead of Wen living his dreams. Officers, I don't even want to call them officers. Cianfrocco and Salvador Alanghi and Matthew Cianfrocco took my brother's life. It's insane that after a year, we are still fighting for justice and accountability. It's disgusting that they're still collecting a paycheck while my family continues to suffer. Our demands are simple, and I ask you to help us hold them accountable. Police Commissioner Tisch and Mayor Adams needs to fire Alanghi and Cianfrocco. Our family shouldn't have to wait any longer. It's awful that the mayor has never updated our family once on the NYPD investigation. We demand they update our family on the investigation. We demand the NYS Attorney General indict and prosecute them. If any of us had done what they have done, we would have been arrested. No more double standards. We demand all removal of all cops from mental health. If Alanghi and Cianfrocco never came to our house, Wen would be here with us today. I thank you all for coming out and supporting me and my family as we continue this fight for justice.
আমি উইনের হতভাগ্য বাবা গত 27শে মার্চ আমার ছেলেকে কেড়ে নিয়েছে। 1 বছর পূর্ণ হয়েছে। আমার ছেলে ছিল মাত্র 19 বছরের একটা কিশোর। তার পুরো জীবনটাই সামনে পড়েছিল। সে চেয়েছিল তার জীবনটা সেনাবাহিনীতে উৎসর্গ করবে, কিন্তু সেই পুলিশ অফিসারের কর্মকাণ্ডে আমার ছেলের তার আশা পূরণ করতে পারেনি, কিন্তু তার জীবনটা এই আমেরিকার জন্য উৎসর্গ করে গেছে, যা এই পুলিশ প্রশাসনে একটা কলঙ্ক হয়ে থাকবে। অফিসার সালভাদর আলাঙ্গি এবং ম্যাথিউ চিয়াফ্রাঙ্কো 2 মিনিটের কম সময়ের মধ্যে আমার এই সন্তান ওয়েনকে গুলি করে হত্যা করে। তারা তার সাথে এমন আচরণ করেছিল যেন সে কোনো গুরুত্ব রাখে না, এবং এটি একটি খুবই অলৌকিক ঘটনা যে সেদিন আমার ছোট ছেলে এবং আমার স্ত্রীকে তারা হত্যা করেনি।
Hi, my name is Rebecca. I'm going to interpret what you said.
My name is Francis Rosario, and I'm the father of Win Rosario. Last week marked 1 year since our son, Win Rosario, was murdered by the police. That 1 year marked the end of his dreams. He dreamed of joining the U.S. Army, yet it's within this country, and it was this country's police that ended his life. He was a child with his whole life ahead of him. Officers Salvatore Alonghi and Matthew Cianfranco tased, shot, and killed my son in less than 2 minutes. They treated him like he didn't matter, and it's a miracle that they didn't also kill my other son and wife who were there.
আমি বিশ্বাস করতে পারছি না যে 1 বছরেরও বেশি সময় ধরে কোনো ন্যায় বিচার পায়নি। যদি আমি বা আপনি আলমগীর এবং চিয়াংফ্রাঙ্কো যা করেছে তা করতাম, তাহলে আমাদের অবিলম্বে গ্রেপ্তার করে বরখাস্ত করা হতো। যে পুলিশ আমার ছেলেকে হত্যা করেছে তারা খুনি এবং সমস্ত নিরক্ষবাসীর জন্য বিপজ্জনক। তাদের বরখাস্ত করা উচিত এবং তাদের ন্যায় বিচার করা উচিত এবং তাদের চাকরি থেকে থাকতে দেওয়া উচিত নয়।
I can't believe it's been more than a year with no justice. If it was you or me who had done what Alonghi and Cianfranco did, we would have been arrested and fired immediately. The police who killed my son are murderers and dangerous for all New Yorkers. They should be fired and prosecuted and not allowed to keep their jobs.
আমরা এই 1 বছর ধরে যা যন্ত্রণা পেয়ে যাচ্ছি, আপনারা আজকে এখানে এসেছেন, আমাদের সমর্থন করছেন, এর জন্য আমি আমার অন্তরের অন্তঃস্থল থেকে ধন্যবাদ জানাই।
The pain of the last year has been so much. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart for coming out to support us.
আমি আজকে খুশি যে 332B যে সদস্যরা উপস্থিত হয়েছেন। আমি খুশি যে আমার ইউনিয়ন 32B যে এর কিছু সদস্য এখানে আমাকে এবং আমার পরিবারকে সমর্থন করার জন্য এসেছেন। আলিঙ্গ এবং চিয়ানফ্রাঙ্কোকে বরখাস্ত এবং বিচারের দাবিতে আপনাদের সকলের যোগদানের প্রয়োজন।
I thank you all for coming out to support us. I'm glad my union, 32BJ, has members here to support me and my family. We need all of you to join us in demanding that Alonghi and Cianfranco are fired and prosecuted.
Thank you, Francis. Next, we have speaking Notan Eva Costa, mother of Win Rosario. Mrs. Costa did everything she could to protect Win from the NYPD. Officers Salvatore Alonghi and Matthew Cianfranco. After both officers came into their home and created a crisis and murdered Win in less than 2 minutes.
আমার নাম নতুন ইভা কস্তা, আমি উইনের মা।
I'm Newton Eva Costa, the mother of Win Rosario.
আজকে আমি এখানে এসে কথা বলতে চাইনি, কিন্তু আমি চিন্তা করলাম যে আমার ছেলের ন্যায় বিচারের জন্য আমার কিছু বলা দরকার।
I didn't want to speak today, but I have to come because I need justice for my son.
আমার 2টি সন্তান ছিল। আমি সবসময় মনে করতাম আমার এই 2 সন্তান আমার 2টি হাত, কিন্তু চলে যাওয়াতে আমি মনে হয় বিকলাঙ্গ হয়ে গেছি, আমার একটা সাইড নষ্ট হয়ে গেছে, আমার এরকম মনে হয়।
As a mother, my 2 children are like my 2 hands. After Win Rosario left, it feels me I'm not completely okay. My entire body not working. It's incomplete.
দুই পুলিশ সদস্য এলঙ্গি অ্যান্ড সিয়ান ফ্রাঙ্কো, এদের শাস্তি হওয়া দরকার, কারণ এরা আমাদের জন্য বিপজ্জনক।
The two officers, I am demanding their punishment because they are very harmful for us.
আমি চাই এই দুই পুলিশ সদস্যকে বিনা বেতনে বরখাস্ত করা হোক।
My another demand, I want the fire from the police department without pay.
এবং আমি চাই যেন আর কোনো পরিবার আমাদের মতো সাফার না করুক, এবং যার চিন্তা তো সুন্দর ছিল, যার সবসময় সেনাবাহিনী বা আর্মিতে যাওয়ার ইচ্ছা ছিল, এরকম সন্তানদের বেঁচে থাকা উচিত।
So I don't want any other family feel pain like mine, and I always expect the boy like the wind, they have to leave because they have a dream, they want to join the army.
আমি আবারও সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ দিচ্ছি যারা আমার পরিবারের পাশে দাঁড়িয়েছেন। আমি বিশ্বাস করি শেষ পর্যন্ত আপনারা আমাদের পাশে থাকবেন।
And thank you all to join with us, and I believe till our justice, everyone will stay with us. Thank you all.
Francis, my friend, you do not walk alone. We will walk with you and sing your spirit home. Eva, my friend, you do not walk alone. We will walk with you and sing your spirit home. Courage, my friend, you do not walk alone. We will walk with you and sing your spirit home. Now I just want to introduce Pastor James Roy, who is the Rosario family's pastor from the United Bengali Lutheran Church of America, to lead us in a short prayer.
So I am Reverend James Roy, the pastor of Win and his family, and I was related to this family very well for many years, and I have seen their suffering, I've seen their grief and sadness and all things, for they have lost their child and the butcher, his brother. And I and my church and my community is with them. As we sang, we walk with you, right? Yeah, that is a very nice song I sang. So Vincent Rosario, who was killed brutally by the police, lost last 27th of March, right? 27th of March. Yeah, 27th of March 2024. We remember that he was a precious soul, for he told me when he was celebrating his 17th birthday, he said, "Uncle, I'm going to join with Marine Corps. He has a desire to join with the army, but it was never fulfilled. He said that when I will get green card, I will be able to join. Today we remember with much broken heart that his precious soul will never fulfill his will, and this nation lost him. Precious soul, this nation lost him. Let us pray now. Let us pray. Almighty God, merciful Lord, be gracious to the family of Win Vincent Rosario, whose life has been tragically ended and who is now at rest with you. He was innocent, a polite boy, yet killed brutally. Comfort us all, his parents, brothers, relatives, loved ones. In our grief and in their grief, deliver the family from anger and sustain them with the knowledge that they are upheld. He is upheld by your everlasting arms. Almighty God, grant comfort to the family of Win Vincent Rosario. Since you judge over all, guide the civil authorities charged with the investigation of this brutal murder, that the evidence may be carefully considered and those responsible be brought to justice. Help Ram, too, as they are helping the family and fighting for the case ending. Grant the family patience in their waiting. Through Jesus Christ, our Savior and Lord, who lives and reigns with you and the Holy Spirit, one God, now and forever. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor. Now, just want to introduce New York City Public Advocate Jumani Williams. Jumani has supported the Rosario family from the very beginning, when the NYPD kicked the family out of their home in the dead of winter, without winter clothes, without warm clothes, without life-saving medication, and without their cat for 3 days. The Public Advocate's Office helped the family actually get back into their home. Jumani was also the only elected official that attended Wynn's funeral. He also has a very long track record of supporting families of New Yorkers murdered by NYPD, and I'll hand the mic over to Jumani Williams.
Peace and blessing, love and light to everyone here, to the family. I know you don't want to be here at all. You just want your son back. I'm sorry that none of us can deliver that for you. I got elected 15 years ago. I didn't have children then. I got children now. This hits a lot different when you have children. And all you want to do is protect your children. And you think what you're doing is for the betterment of your children. I can't begin to imagine the pain and the sorrow of the past year. I do know it's been a year. No one has been disciplined. Nothing has changed about how the NYPD answers these calls. That makes no sense at all. At some point we have to be tired enough, care about these lives enough to do something different. How do people change their behavior when officers can continue to do this with full impunity? There is no one else anywhere else besides these type of situations where people can kill someone and absolutely nothing happens. We need some sort of change now, because the most painful part is that everybody knows at some point someone else's name is going to be added to these rolls. I would like it to have never been Win Rosario. I'd like it to end with Win Rosario. We have a mayor who has shown incredible genius and adeptness and acrobatics to protect himself. I am asking him to use an iota of that genius to protect New Yorkers, to prevent another Win Rosario. The same boldness in your faces that you use to protect yourself provides some semblance of justice for this family. How can it be that nothing has changed? No discipline, and the NYPD's response to mental health has not changed. That is an abomination on us. And what frustrates me is the most is everyone agrees, including law enforcement themselves, that they should not be the ones who are in charge of responding to these type of calls. Yet, we still cannot make the changes to the things that we all agree on, even when a teenager is no longer here. And people responded within 2 minutes. They ignored the pleas of the mom. They refused to allow her to help. And they killed her son. That's what happened. In the past 15 years, we've seen it happen time and time again. We can make some changes. We literally can make some changes. The question is, are we going to? And I put that question directly on the mayor's desk. Just pretend it's you who's in trouble and do what you do. Help us get some semblance of justice, some semblance of change. I'm pleading. Thank you.
আমি একটা খুবই ছোট একটা সামারি দিব বাংলায়। উনি যে কথাটা বলেছেন যে উনি বলেছেন যে আমি জানি যে আজকের পরিবারটা আপনারা কেউ থাকতে চান না, আজকে আপনারা আপনাদের ছেলেকে চান, কিন্তু আপনাদের ছেলেকে আমরা দুঃখিত যে আমরা আপনাদের ছেলেকে ফিরে নিয়ে আসতে পারবো না, সেটা সম্ভব না আমাদের পক্ষ থেকে। আর আমাদের মেয়র অ্যাডামস নিজের নিরাপত্তার জন্য, নিজের স্বার্থের জন্য যথেষ্ট কিছু করেন, যেটা আমরা দেখতে পারি প্রত্যেকদিন সংবাদে। নিজের নিরাপত্তার জন্য অনেক কষ্ট করেন, কিন্তু একই কষ্ট কখনো করেন না এই পরিবারের জন্য, এই পরিবারের ন্যায় বিচারের জন্য, সেটা আমরা কখনো দেখি নাই। তো সেক্ষেত্রে অনুরোধটা হচ্ছে মেয়রের কাছে, উনি যদি মনে করতেন যে উনি নিজে এই সমস্যায় পড়ে আছেন, যেভাবে ব্যবহার, যেভাবে আচরণ করতেন, যেভাবে কাজ করতেন, অনুরোধটা হচ্ছে যে উনি এইভাবেই কাজ করবেন পরিবারের ন্যায় বিচারের জন্য।
Thank you, Public Advocate. And I want to stand here and remind you guys all, why is it that we're here? And that's just with one objective, and it's to fire these two officers for taking the life of Win. That's Officer Matthew Cianfranco and Officer Alangi. We need them both fired immediately. And as the Public Advocate said, the NYPD is ill-equipped to handle mental health crisis situations. So we also need the NYPD out of mental health situations. It's easy, as he's explained it. They're not equipped to do the job. They shouldn't be doing it. So what I challenge you all to do is to post, to take a picture, to tag the NYPD police commissioner, the New York State mayor, also Attorney General Tish James. Tag them all. These are the targets that we need to understand the urgency that we have on Win's life and it being taken from his family. Attorney General Tish James, I challenge you personally, since you weren't able to give my brother the justice that you were promised, do it for Win and his family. Get your head out of the mud, enough with the Trump stuff, and do the job that we set you out to do. That's why you were put in that position, was to prosecute officers for wrongdoing. That's a personal challenge, Tish. And now for Police Commissioner Jessica Tish and Mayor Adams, is far too long for you guys to keep covering killer cops in this city. We are tired of it. We won't continue to do it. Adams, you're halfway out the door. Tish, if you don't get it together, you'll be joining him. So we need you guys to do it. And it's only through community that we can get this done. So please do me a favor, take a picture of me right now and tag the mayor, the police commissioner, and Attorney General Tish James. Thank you. And we'll continue with, I'm sorry, I'm getting hyped up. We have another speaker. Our next speaker is Miss Valerie Bell, the mother of Sean Bell, who was also murdered by NYPD. And Sean was murdered November of 2006, and this happened in Jamaica, Queens, New York, in a hail of 50 bullets the night before he was supposed to get married. Ms. Bell is also a member of the Justice Committee and has been fighting to end police violence for almost 20 years. Valerie has been a leader in many campaigns of the Community Safety Act, the Right to Know Act, the Safer New York Act, and the How Many Stop Act, and a mentor to me as well. Thank you. Valerie.
To God be the glory for all that can be done. This is why I'm able to stand this day and every day of my life. I didn't sit down when it happened to my son almost, which will be 19 years, November 25th, that's okay, 2006, on his wedding day. I went about my business. And I was ordained a minister of justice. And I said, why, Lord? Why minister of justice? He said, because you keep the faith, you keep with your family and your family that you meet, and you fellowship with all in the church and all of the people that meet during those 19 years. And it's a sad time to meet you this time, but I'm glad that I was able to meet you. And if you need anything, I will be there for you. Like they said, Sean was murdered with 50 bullets. Back then, they didn't have videotapes. If they did, they were afraid to stand out because they didn't want to get shot. I'm here to support the Wynn Rosario family and their demands for Salvatore Alanghi and Matthew Franco to be fired and prosecuted as soon as possible. I'm glad to see so many people out here in the community. I remember when I was doing a 50-day vigil, there were a lot of people from all over the world protesting, showing up at events, and spreading the word about the murder of Sean and the need to prosecute and find the police who killed Sean. I hope New Yorkers really come out to support the Wynn family. To the Wynn's parents and brother, I wish I could tell you everything will be okay, but it's not. Like I said, 19 years, I'm still crying, but I speak about his life. So think of his life to give you the joy. It's okay to cry, but think of his life to give you the joy. What I can tell you, that I and the other families who work with the Justice Committee will be here to support you and fight with you to secure your demands. Alinghi and, if I'm sorry to pronounce it wrong, Cianfrocco needs to be fired and prosecuted. I'm calling on Mayor Adams, Police Commissioner Tish, and Attorney General James to stop delaying and fire the Alanghi and Cianfrocco. Please do your job. We place you in those positions to do your job. We're tired of our young people getting killed for no reason, with no weapons. Do your job, and God bless you all.
No justice, no peace. No racist police. No justice, no peace. No racist police. Sean Bell Zindabad, Inqilab Zindabad. Sean Bell Inqilab Zindabad.
আমি এখন কথা শুরু করে বাংলায় বলবো। উনি ছিলেন মিস ভ্যালেরি বেল, ওনার ছেলে শন বেল। পুলিশ ওনার ছেলেকে খুন করেছিল নভেম্বর 2006 সালে ওনার বিয়ে করার আগে। আমি অনেক খুশি যে আমি পরিবারের সাথে পরিচয় হইতে পারি। আমার মনে আছে আমার নিজের ছেলেকে যখন ওরা খুন করেছিল তখন কোনো ভিডিও ছিল না, তখন ভিডিও যুগ ছিল না, সবাই ভয় পেত ভিডিও তুলতে। তো আমি এখানে এসেছি ওদের দাদিকে সমর্থন দেওয়ার জন্য। আর আমার মনে আছে যে এটা আমরা শনের জন্য করছি আর উনের জন্য করছি। 19 বছর পরে আমি এখনো কান্না করি। এই কান্নাটা কখনো শেষ হবে না, কিন্তু আমার অনুরোধ হইলো, উপদেশটা হইলো যে আপনারা ওর জীবন নিয়ে চিন্তা ভাবনা করবেন আনন্দ পাওয়ার জন্য, কারণ কান্নাটা শেষ হবে না। আর আমরা সবাই আছি আপনাদের সাথে, আর আমি অনেক খুশি হয়েছি দেখতে যে পুরো কমিউনিটিও আসছে আমাদেরকে সমর্থন দেওয়ার জন্য, আর আমিও এই একই দাবির সাথে একমত।
And our next speaker will be Eldin Diao from the Caribbean Equality Project.
Hello, I said my name is Almeida, and I organize with the Caribbean Equality Project. A little louder, a little louder. No justice? No peace. No justice? No peace. Okay, can we hear me clearly? Is this good? Okay, thank you, thank you. I needed that, actually, so thank you for offering me that and feeding me the energy back. I needed it especially after speaking after Miss Bell. I was born and raised here in Queens, in Southside Jamaica, Queens, and Sean Bell is one of the reasons why I started organizing. His loss impacted me dearly, and it means so much to be able to speak to you all here today. I primarily, as a healing justice organizer, want to uplift the demand to get the NYPD out of mental health. As was already spoken, they haven't been doing a great job. They don't know how to respond to the need, and they create a lot of chaos and dysfunction and harm and death in our communities. And there's only so much words that I can say that really embody the experience of what has brought us all out today. Sometimes when we're organizing and we're speaking and we're standing here, we can get a little disembodied from the reality of what really brought us here. The families that we stand with, the lives that we've lost, those that look over us, those that are with us, and that are asking for us and demanding of us to speak and demand for officers who are unjustly killing our people to be fired, and to really listen and advocate for the families' demands, all of them to be met, and to stand in solidarity with each other, to be with one another, to look at the person next to you if you can, and offer them a little smile, offer them a hug, offer them water, offer them what you can while we are here, while we do have breath that has been taken away from many of us. And so I invite us, before I step off, if we could just take a collective breath together, if that feels okay for you. If it doesn't, feel free to ignore the invitation. But if it feels okay, I invite you to inhale and hold it and remember what you're holding, life, breath, and exhale. And take care of our earth, take care of our people. Thank you for being here. I love all of you. Thank you. ওনার নাম প্রতিষ্ঠানের নামটা হচ্ছে Caribbean Equality Project. আমার মনে আছে আমি এই কুইন্সে বড় হয়েছি, জন্ম হয়েছে আমার কুইন্সে। আমার মনে আছে যে শনবেলকে খুন করেছিল যখন, আর তখন থেকে আমি সংগঠন করা শুরু করেছিলাম। আর আমিও একমত সবার সাথে যে এনওয়াইপিডি কে মানসিক স্বাস্থ্য পরিষেবার বাইরে রাখতে হবে। আর অনেকজন আমাদের মতো জীবিত না, আর সেই ক্ষেত্রে উনি অনুরোধ করেছেন সবাইকে একটা নিঃশ্বাস নেওয়ার জন্য আর অ্যাপ্রিশিয়েট করার জন্য যে আমরা সবাই বেঁচে আছি। Thank you. I appreciate all the speakers. I appreciate you all coming together, with all the things that we have heard. Now we're sort of going to get together, we're going to get information. We are actually going to be marching to the 102nd precinct that is nearby, and it is the same police precinct that officers Salvatore Longhi and Matthew Cianfranco worked at, and the same one that is responsible for the murder of Wynn Rosario. So we're going to ask everyone to sort of gather here together as we have our chant leaders.
Oh, hey, hey! Ho, ho! Killer cops have got to go, hey, hey! Ho, ho! Killer cops have got to go, hey, hey! Ho, ho! Killer cops have got to go, hey, hey! Ho, ho! Killer cops have got to go, hey, hey! Ho, ho! Killer cops have got to go, hey, hey! Ho, ho! Killer cops have got to go, hey, hey! people too. A little bit louder, three. We want justice for the family. One. We are the people too. A little bit louder, three. We want justice for the family. One. We are the people too. A little bit louder, three. We want justice for the family. One. We are the people too. A little bit louder, three. We want justice for the family. One. We are the people too. Oh, hey, hey. Ho, ho. The racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. The racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. The racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. The racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. The racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. The racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. The racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. The racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. The racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. The racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. The racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. The racist cops have got to go.
Hey, hey!
Ho, ho.
The racist cops have got to go! Ho, ho!
The racist cops have got to go.
Hey, hey! Justice! Now! Justice!
Now.
Shut it down! 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 Shut it down!
Ho,
justice, no peace. No racist, police. No justice, no peace. No racist, police. No justice, no peace. No killer, police. No justice, no peace. No killer, police. No justice, no peace. No killer, police. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. If Wynn doesn't get it, shut it down. If Alan doesn't get it, shut it down. If Sam doesn't get it, shut it down. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. If Wynn doesn't get it, shut it down. If Alan doesn't get it, shut it down.
That's right. Right now, we are in front of 102 precinct. This is the same precinct that officers Salvatore Longhi and Matthew Cianfranco worked at. The same precinct that murdered Wynn Rosario. So I'm going to tell you all what happened. The things that this precinct did to this family, okay? After they had killed their brother and son, Wynn Rosario, after they had tased and shot him in front of the family, the family was treated, Ocho and Eva were treated like criminals, and they were detained and interrogated.
Shame!
Eva wasn't even told that Wynn was dead until after she was interrogated. They had no attorneys. They did not give them any attorneys. Ocho was questioned and interrogated as a minor at the time without an attorney.
Shame!
The NYPD would never, ever question the cops who killed Wynn without their own police union representative, and the attorneys present. But they didn't even give the family the decency of finding out if Wynn even survived, but they forced them and they questioned them, again, like they were the ones who were the criminals at the precinct.
Shame!
And not only did they do that, the NYPD and the city refused to let the family back in their apartment for over 48 hours.
Shame!
They forced Wynn's parents and younger brother to find somewhere else to stay after the murder. They refused to let them get their medication that they needed. They refused them to let them get a change of clothes in the middle of winter, or even get their cat, who they had in their apartment.
Shame!
Only after Justice Committee asked the public advocate to push the NYPD to let Wynn's family back in, that is the only way they got back into their apartment. And they got back into their apartment while it was still covered in Wynn's blood.
Shame!
They didn't even have the decency to clean up a crime scene that they created, a crisis that they created.
Shame!
So, that being said, I want to pass it over to Fahad, who is Drum's director, and he will say a few words.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We came here, walked here, marched here with the family so that the family can bear witness to what they experienced directly in front of the precinct that was responsible for what happened to Wynn and his murder. And there's accountability that's needed at multiple levels. We need the precinct and the officers to be held accountable. We need the mayor to do his job and fire the officers. we need the Attorney General to do her work and prosecute the officers. But there's people even within our own community. This evening, there is a celebration for Bangladeshi Independence Day happening at Gracie Mansion by Mayor Adams. A lot of the Bangladeshi community leaders were invited to this event and were invited to that event. A few of them are here. Most of them are there.
Shame!
They would choose rather to stand with the mayor that protects cops that kill kids in our communities than to come and stand with the family who is lost and who is grieving.
Shame!
We have the Bangladeshi Police Officers Association, which for years in our community, and similar to the Pakistani Officers Association, the Punjabi officers, has been saying that if we go into the police force, we are able to change it from the inside. Has that happened?
No!
We got folks from the black community here. There's lots of black officers. Has that made black community relations any better?
No!
We know how the game goes. Once they're inside, they become part of the blue. They're not part of our communities, right? And that's just a fake sell to dupe us into continuing to stay quiet. And so when we're in part of this, we do want to hold systems accountable because that comes first. But we do want to think about what happens within our communities. Do we continue to listen to community leaders that repeatedly show us that they care more about their photo opportunity with elected officials than they do about the actual people in our communities?
No!
Do we continue to support institutions like ethnic officer societies that show that at the end of the day their loyalty is more to the police force than it is to their own family, to their own cousins, to their own neighbors?
No!
And so this is the work that we have to do. That's what part of organizing is. We come out here and this is important work, but there's work to be done when we go back to our neighborhood, when we go back to our communities, when we talk to our neighbors and we talk to our family. Don't let those people continue to be community leaders. Talk about them. Talk about the positions that they take, because we got to hold them accountable inside as well. Right? And it's a reflection for us as well. When we see these things happen, do we do what we want to do, what's in our interest, or do we do what's right for the community and what's right by justice? So that's our call. I want to thank all of you for coming out. I want to thank all of you to march here with the family, and thank you for being here, and thank you for the work that you'll do when you go back to your communities.
ফাহাদের কথাগুলো আমি এখন বাংলায় বলবো। তো আমরা এই প্রিসিংটে আসছি, এই প্রিসিংটের অফিসারগুলো উইন রোজারিওকে খুন করেছে। আমরা পরিবারের সাথে এসেছি এই প্রিসিংটে, যেই প্রিসিংটে অলঙ্গি আর সিয়ান ফ্র্যাঙ্কো এখনো কাজ করে। তো আমরা অবশ্যই আমাদের জবাবদিহিতা দরকার, আমাদের রাজনীতিবিদদের কাছ থেকে আমরা এই জবাবদিহিতা আশা করছি, কিন্তু সাথেও আমাদের বলতে হবে যে আমাদের নিজস্ব কমিউনিটির মধ্যে কি হচ্ছে এটা আমাদের নাম বলতে হবে। আমাদের আজকে একটা সেলিব্রেশন হচ্ছে স্বাধীনতা দিবসের, স্বাধীনতা দিবসের উপলক্ষে গ্রেসি ম্যানশন একটা অনুষ্ঠান করছে। আমাদের অনেক কমিউনিটি নেতাদেরকে দাওয়াত দিয়েছি, বলেছি আজকে প্রতিবাদে আসার জন্য, আজকে অনুষ্ঠানে আসার জন্য। কয়েকজন এসেছেন, কিন্তু বেশিরভাগরা মেয়র অ্যাডামসের সাথে এখন অনুষ্ঠানে যাচ্ছেন। সেটা কি ঠিক? এটা কি নাই? না। তো যে মেয়র আমাদের উইন রোজার জন্য কিছুই করে নাই, ওরা এখন তার সাথে আছে। তো আমাদের সেটা বুঝতে হবে যে ওনারা একটা সিদ্ধান্ত নিয়েছেন যে আজকে এই পরিবারের সাথে থাকবে না, এই পরিবারের সাথে দাঁড়াবে না। সাথেও আমাদের বুঝতে হবে যে আমাদের বাংলাদেশি পুলিশ অ্যাসোসিয়েশন, পাকিস্তানি পুলিশ অ্যাসোসিয়েশন, আমাদের বিভিন্ন কমিটির মানুষরা পুলিশের মধ্যে আছে। তো ওরা বিশ্বাস করে যে পুলিশের মধ্যে ঢুকলেই পুলিশটাকে পরিবর্তন করতে পারবে, কিন্তু আমাদের সাথে অনেকজন আছে যারা ব্ল্যাক কমিউনিটি থেকে, আর ওনারা নিজেই দেখেন ওনাদের রঙের অনেক পুলিশ অফিসার আছে, কিন্তু পুলিশরা ওনাদের মানুষকে খুন করে থেমেছে না। তো আমরা একই জিনিস আশা করতে পারি না যে আমাদের কমিটিতে সেটা আসবে। তো ও এইটা হচ্ছে এক ধরনের ট্রিক, আমরা যেন কিছু না করি, আমরা যেন চুপ থাকি আর যেন খুশি থাকি। আর আমাদের অবশ্যই এগুলো ব্যবস্থা থেকে, রাজনীতিবিদ থেকে জবাবদিহিতা আশা করব, কিন্তু সাথেও আমাদের দেখতে হবে আমাদের কমিউনিটিতে কি হচ্ছে। আমাদের কমিউনিটি বিভিন্ন নেতা আছে যারা ওদের একমাত্র ইচ্ছা হচ্ছে এগুলো রাজনীতিবিদের সাথে ছবি তোলা। সেটা কি ঠিক? আমরা ওদের পিছনে দাঁড়াবো না। তো আমাদের সেটা চিন্তা করতে হবে আমরা কার সাথে দাঁড়াবো, আমরা কার পিছনে থাকবো। এগুলো নেতাদের শুধু পুলিশের সাথে দাঁড়াবে আর আমাদের নিজের মানুষের সাথে দাঁড়াবে না। আজকে রোজারিও পরিবারের সাথে এরা এসে দাঁড়াইছে না, সেটা কি ঠিক না? তো আমরা সবাইকে, আমাদের দায়িত্বটা হচ্ছে আমাদের কমিউনিটি মানুষের সাথে আমাদের কথা বলতে হবে, আমাদের বোঝাইতে হবে এগুলো বিষয়, আমাদের ওদেরকে বোঝাইতে হবে যে পুলিশের কাছে আমরা কিছু আশা করতে পারি না। আমাদের মানুষ যখন পুলিশে ঢুকে আমরা এটা কাছে কোনো পরিবর্তন আশা করতে পারি না আমাদের কমিউনিটির জন্য, আমাদের শ্রমজীবী মানুষের জন্য, আমাদের রোজারিও পরিবারের জন্য। আর আমাদের দায়িত্ব হচ্ছে মানুষের সাথে কথা বলা, এটা যে বিষয়গুলো বোঝানো। আর সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি যে আজকে এসেছেন র্যালিতে, যে সময় নিয়ে বের করে এসেছেন, সেটার জন্য অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ আপনাদের সবাইকে।
Justice for Win Rosario! Justice for Win Rosario! Justice for Win Rosario! Justice for Win Rosario! Justice for Win Rosario!
Next up, we just want to call on State Senator Jessica Ramos. She has been calling for NYPD officers that have engaged in misconduct to be fired, especially when taking the life of a New Yorker was avoidable. She has also helped educate and gather support from her colleagues on other cases, including Kowalski Trewick and Alan Feliz. Thank you for standing with the Rosario family, State Senator Jessica Ramos. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. This is a very difficult moment for all of us. I'm a woman who wears many hats, but perhaps the most important hat that I wear is that I am the mother of two sons. My sons happen to be 11 and 13 years old. They ride the subway to and from school every day. And I cannot imagine the pain that you must feel, Mrs. Rosario. I am here to extend condolences to you, to your son, to your husband, to your family, to your community, because our city has failed you, your family, and your son. There is no doubt that when Rosario was a young man full of potential, who is loved, who is valued, and whose name we must continue to speak today and for many more years to come. What happened on that day was a failure to respond to a mental health emergency with experts of mental health. And while we depend on our police officers to fight crime, Win Rosario was not a criminal. He was a young man with challenges, but no doubt with a bright future ahead if New York City had a proper mental health system with therapists, with social workers in the languages that New Yorkers speak, to make sure that we are preventing tragedies just like this one. This, of course, not being the first, and likely not the last, unless everybody who's here tonight does something about it. We're marching today. I'm sure we will march many more times next year and the following years after that. Ramarley's brother, Alan's brother, can tell you that the quest for justice in this town is difficult. But in order to build
that trust between community and police that we're supposed to build, we have to make sure that we are holding the bad actors accountable. And that is why I am here to add my voice to call for the resignation or the firing of the police officers who murdered Win Rosario. And I'd like to add my voice to the call for Attorney General Tish James to do her job and protect the people of the state of New York, no matter who that's against. This is critical in making sure that communities like ours, whether it's Richmond Hill or Jackson Heights where I'm from, have an appropriate response when we have these challenges in our families. That's the right use of our taxpayer dollars. Because we all pay taxes. And we must demand justice, and we must demand a system that respects the dignity of every person. None of us mothers should ever have to suffer what Mrs. Rosario has gone through. I don't know what I would do if my son were to die in my arms. That is every one of us mothers' biggest nightmares. And I know it will take tremendous strength. So I appeal to all of you to really support this family as your neighbors, as they continue to grieve, because no justice is going to even bring Win Rosario back. There will always be an empty hole in their hearts. But community can and will help them know continuously that they are not alone in the pursuit of justice for their son. And so I even appeal to the police officers, because I'm sure no police officer would want to be in this situation either. And I know many of you, when you sign up to become police officers, choose to do so because you want to do the right thing. So I'm going to appeal to you to please talk to your higher-ups and make sure that they are assigning mental health responses to EMS workers, to other emergency responders who know what to do when there's an unarmed individual struggling through a mental health episode. People who do know what to do when that is happening. Thank you all for being here tonight. This is going to be an ongoing fight, and surely we can achieve justice for Win, for Alan, and for Ramarley, and everybody else who has been forgotten in this system, in this city, together. Good night, everyone, and Shubha Shonda.
I'm going to paraphrase for the Bengali community. So, খুব ভালো ছোট করে বলবো যে আমি ভাবতেই পারতেছি না উইন আজকে আমাদের মাঝে নাই। আমার নিজেরও দুইটা বাচ্চা আছে। এইটা আমাদের সিস্টেমের ব্যর্থতা, পুলিশের ব্যর্থতা। যখন মেন্টাল হেলথ সাপোর্টের জন্য সাহায্যের জন্য কল করেছে, সেখানে সাহায্য না পেয়ে তারা তাকে মেরে ফেলছে। আমাদের সিস্টেম এমন কোন সিস্টেম নাই যেটার ফলে মেন্টাল হেলথে যারা ভুগতেছে তাদেরকে সাপোর্ট করবে। এই পুলিশ অফিসারদেরকে আমাদেরই ট্যাক্সের টাকা পে করা হয়, আর এই ট্যাক্সের টাকা দিয়ে তারা আমাদের সন্তানদেরকে মারবে, এটা গ্রহণযোগ্য না। আপনারা সবাইকে অনেক ধন্যবাদ যে কষ্ট করে আপনারা এখানে আসছেন। আপনারা সবসময় উইনের ফ্যামিলির সাথে থাকবেন। উইন স্ট্রাগল করতেছিল, এটা ঠিক, কিন্তু তার একটা সুন্দর ভবিষ্যৎ ছিল। সো এই জন্য আমরা উইনকে নিয়ে কথা বলা বন্ধ করব না। আমরা এই কন্টিনিউ তার ব্যাপার নিয়ে আমরা কথা বলবো যদি আমরা জাস্টিস পেতে চাই। কমিউনিটির মানুষজনকেও বলবো যে আপনারা যেন সবসময় উইনের ফ্যামিলির পাশে থাকেন। উনি একজন মা হিসেবে চিন্তাই করতে পারতেছে না যে তার হাতে যদি তার সন্তান মারা যেত তাহলে তার কাছে কেমন লাগতো। সে পাশাপাশি এইটাও আবেদন করতেছে যে পুলিশ অফিসারদেরকে তারা যখন সাইন করে জবের জন্য অবশ্যই তারা সাইন করে তারা সঠিক কাজটা করার জন্য, কিন্তু তারা সেটা করতেছে না। সে আরো ডিমান্ড করতেছে অ্যাটর্নি জেনারেল লেটিশিয়া জেমসকে সে যেন তার জবটা ঠিক মতো করে। সো আমাদেরকে কন্টিনিউ এটা নিয়ে কথা বলতে হবে আমরা যদি জাস্টিস ফিরে পেতে চাই। ধন্যবাদ।
Thank you. Our next speaker that we have is Shanor Graham, the brother of Ramarley Graham. Ramarley Graham was murdered as well by NYPD on February the 2nd of 2012 when NYPD entered his home and shot Ramarley in front of 6-year-old at that time, right? 6-year-old Shanor and his grandmother. Shanor.
Good afternoon, or well, evening, everybody. As mentioned, my name is Shanor. I watched my brother die at the age of 6, which 2 months ago was 13 years since the day happened. And a year separated from that, I met Ucho, and talking to him, just hearing the whole story was completely identical. And hearing that 13 years apart, it's sickening, because knowing that we fought so hard to get what we did for our case, and seeing a repeat right again in front of our faces, it's absolutely ridiculous. So I don't want to hold up a whole bunch of time, but I do have a message, not for you guys, but everyone here, standing here watching me. Everybody inside that building continue on with their shift. Everybody inside their squad cars to every precinct. Y'all need to do better. Y'all put an oath to protect us, so you shouldn't be killing us. We shouldn't have to walk outside in fear that someone with a badge is going to kill us rather than our own people. It's not right. We shouldn't have to, and another family shouldn't have to keep going through this. I shouldn't have to keep hearing repeat stories of someone's brother, someone's son, or any family member dying because police cannot do their jobs correctly. You guys came to protect and serve. I want to see you guys do that, not be out here killing people. That's my message. Thank you guys, everybody. Good night.
Ramarley Graham Zindabad! Inqilab Zindabad! Ramarley Graham Zindabad! Inqilab Zindabad!
তো উনি ছিলেন শেনোর গ্রাম, উনার ভাই রমার্লি গ্রামকে হত্যা করেছিল ক্যাম্পল। তো ওনার নাম শেনোর ক্যাম্পল, ওনার ভাই রমার্লি গ্রামকে হত্যা করেছিল ওনার সামনে। ওনার বয়স তখন 6 বছর ছিল, তখন ওনার বয়স মাত্র 6 বছর ছিল। এই ঘটনাটা ঘটেছে 13 বছর আগে। তো আমার যখন উৎসর সাথে পরিচয় হয়েছিল প্রায় 1 বছর আগে, আমার অনেক খারাপ লেগেছিল যে এই একই ঘটনা যেটা আমার ভাইকে নিয়ে ঘটেছে সেই একই ঘটনা উইন রোজারিওকে নিয়ে ঘটেছে, আর সেইটা শুনে আমার অতিরিক্ত কষ্ট লেগেছে। আমার একটা কথা আছে, আপনাদের জন্য না, ওদের জন্য, সবাই যারা এই বিল্ডিং এর ভিতরে কাজ করছে, সবাই যারা বাইরে দাঁড়ায় আছে, ওদের তোমাদের আরো ভালো কাজ করতে হবে। তোমরা একটা কথা দিয়েছো আমাদের নিরাপত্তার জন্য, তো সেই ক্ষেত্রে আপনারা কেন আমাদেরকে খুন করছেন? আমরা কেন ভয় পাই রাস্তাঘাটে যে আপনারা আমাদেরকে খুন করবেন? আমার এই একই গল্প শোনার কোনো আমি এই একই গল্প কেন এতবার আমার শুনতে হয়? সেটা ঠিক না। সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ। No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No racist, police. Next, and our final speaker is going to be Francis Rosario, again, father of Win Rosario, who will be giving closing comments and remarks.
No justice,
No peace.
no racist,
Police.
no justice,
No peace.
no racist,
Police.
no justice,
No peace.
no racist, police, no justice,
No peace.
no racist,
Police.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I'm Francis Rosario, father of Win Rosario. You know everybody, last 27 of March 2024, I was in working, but my wife and my son was at home. and my son was a little bit mental problem, a little bit problem. And that time he want help from the police. He want help from police. And when the two police gone to my house, bottom, my younger son gone there and said, my brother little bit health problem. But the police go to the house and by 1 minute or 2 minutes killed my son. Kill my son. This is very hearted. This is very hearted. I want justice. I want justice in America. I justice in New York. So, আমার কিছু দাবি আছে। আমি ফ্রান্সিস রোজারিও, উইন রোজারিওর বাবা। উইনের জন্য লড়াই করার সময় আমাদের পাশে থাকার জন্য আমি আপনাদের ধন্যবাদ জানাতে চাই।
My name is Francis Rosario. I'm the father of Win Rosario. I want to thank you all for standing with us as we fight for Win.
আপনি যাওয়ার আগে আমি নিশ্চিত করতে চাই যে আপনি উইনের জন্য আমার পরিবারের দাবিগুলো মনে রাখবেন যাতে আপনি আমাদের সমর্থন করতে পারেন। এক, পুলিশ কমিশনার জেসিকা সিস এবং মেয়র এডিক অ্যাডামসকে অবশ্যই সালভাদর অ্যালঙ্গি এবং ম্যাথিউ সিয়ান ফ্রান্সকোকে বরখাস্ত করতে হবে। আমার পরিবারকে ন্যায় বিচার পাওয়ার জন্য অপেক্ষা করতে হবে না।
So before you leave, I want to make sure you remember my family's demands for Win so you can support us. The first demand is that Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch and Mayor Adams must fire Salvatore Alonghi and Matthew Cianfranco. My family should not have to keep waiting.
দুই, অ্যান্টনি জেনারেল টিস জেমসকে অবশ্যই অ্যালঙ্গি এবং সিয়ান ফ্রান্সিসকে অভিযুক্ত করতে হবে এবং তাদের বিরুদ্ধে মামলা করতে হবে।
Attorney General Tisch must indict and prosecute Alonghi and Cianfranco.
তিন নম্বর, সমস্ত মানসিক স্বাস্থ্য পরিষেবা থেকে পুলিশকে সরিয়ে দেওয়ার দাবি তুলতে হবে।
The third demand is that police must be removed from all mental health responses.
নিউ ইয়র্ক পুলিশ এবং মেয়র অ্যাডামসকে অবশ্যই নিউ ইয়র্ক পুলিশ বিভাগের সমস্ত তদন্ত সম্পর্কে আমার পরিবারকে অবহিত করতে হবে এবং উইনকে হত্যা করার পর 2 দিনেরও বেশি সময় ধরে যারা আমার পরিবারকে আমাদের বাড়িতে প্রবেশ করতে বাধা দিয়েছে তাদের প্রকাশ্যে শনাক্ত করতে হবে এবং শাস্তি দিতে হবে।
The NYPD and Mayor Adams must update my family on the NYPD's investigation.
That's right.
And they need to publicly identify and discipline the police officers that blocked my family from being able to enter our home for over 2 days after they murdered Win.
এই শহরে নিউ ইয়র্ক পুলিশ খুব শক্তিশালী, তারা খুন করে পার পেয়ে যাচ্ছে। আপনাদের সকলের আমাদের সাথে দাঁড়াতে হবে এবং আমাদের সাথে লড়াই করতে প্রয়োজন। আমরা উইনকে ফিরিয়ে আনতে পারবো না, কিন্তু এনওয়াইপিডি কে জবাবদিহি করতে হবে এবং অন্যান্য পরিবারগুলোকেও যেন আমরা এখনো যা অনুভব করছি তার ভয়াবহতার মধ্য দিয়ে যেতে না হয় তার জন্য লড়াই করতে হবে।
The NYPD is too powerful in this city. They're getting away with murder. We need all of you to continue to stand with us and to fight with us. We can't bring Win back, but we can fight to hold the NYPD accountable and prevent other families from going through the horrors of that we're experiencing.
Very true. Again, thank you to all to join with us.
Thank you, Francis. Thank you.